You're all welcome to this session today. So, can I know where you're joining us from? Which city, which country are you joining us from tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon? Great. Babatunde is joining us from the UK. Fidaus is joining us from Lagos. Oyekunle is joining us from Ekiti. All right, nice to meet everyone here tonight. Olas is joining us from Lagos. Lawal from London, Debbie from Canada.
Right.
All right, so we have
Ready to look and
from
feel
all over the world joining us tonight.
Combined ingredients, it has one tablet containing 22 vitamins and minerals. One capsule.
Thank you so much for joining.
So you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Please, I want to mute everyone now. So just give me 1 minute. All right, you can unmute yourself, Toyin.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Today we'll be having a master class on how to build an interactive Excel dashboard that can update itself in 3 hours. All right, so starting from now and for the next 3 hours, you will be on this journey with us, and I hope that you all will have a great time. All right, so before we go ahead to the session or to the practical session proper, we'd like to introduce ourselves. That's myself and the team that has put together this masterclass for you all. All right, so my name is Toyin Ademarati, and I am the data analytics lead at Tenalytics. I have close to a decade experience in data analytics, data science, and machine learning. All right, so basically I've worked in industries in banking, investment tech, ed tech, and I'm a big fan of women being in tech. So yeah, that's like majorly about me. So let's talk about Tenalytics, the company that has organized this entire event for us and has brought this practical class together for you and I to benefit from. All right. So Tenalytics is an edtech company, and our major focus is to help Black community land gain premium skills in tech, and of course break the barrier into getting into tech. All right, so our major focus is to help the Black community break into tech. All right. So some of the courses that we offer at Tenalytics include data analytics itself, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, and the Power Platforms. So these are in-demand skills in the tech space now. And so we're focusing on helping the Black people leverage on these skills actually so that they can gain high-paying jobs in different parts of the world. So most of our facilitators come from top companies such as Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, Amazon, PwC, Deloitte, and so on. All right, so one of the things that we pride ourselves in is real life experience or real life case studies that you're likely to work on in a company. And so that's why we have top facilitators from top companies that have worked on some of these projects, and they're going to be walking you through them in our program. All right, so meet our founders, that is Adeza Suleiman and Efemina Ipro. All right, so the founder of Tenalytics is Adeza Suleiman. He is a data analytics expert, and he has worked with Sahara Groups and other companies. He's also a consultant with FITC, and he has close to a decade experience in data analytics and management consulting. He has worked in different industries such as EdTech, energy and automobile sectors, And he has also trained over 8,500 participants, right? So that's Efemina, and that's Adeza. So now I'm going to be introducing Efemina to everyone. Efemina is a co-founder at Ten-Analytics, and is a business data support lead at Post Office in UK. And also, he currently also holds the position of business systems analyst at Teleflex. And also as is also a business intelligence developer at DPD. All right, so Efemina is a data analyst and a data scientist with close to a decade experience cutting across different sectors. And he holds a master's degree in data analytics from Athlon Institute of Technology. All right, so that's that about our founders at Ten-Analytics. And we're going to also talk briefly about our achievements in 2020, that's last year. So these are some of the things that we have achieved over the past month or in 2022. We have helped over 500 people transition from classroom into their first job in tech across the UK, US, Canada, Europe, and Asia. And I trust that you can also be one of these people. And hopefully you see how you join this train before the end of this practical session. So some of these participants that we have helped to transition into tech work in different organizations like Amazon, Nestle, FCMB, Glow, and so on. So you can see the companies here, like a number of companies, a lot of companies. So yeah, over the past 1 year, these are some of the things that we have achieved. And also we are featured in different newsletters, and so some of them are Business Day, Nairametrics. We have also featured in, so for example, in the Business Day, we're featured in an article that says Ten-Analytics is helping Africans across 4 continents land tech jobs. Also in Nairametrics, you can see where Ten-Analytics and Mustard Insights sponsored data analytics hackathon. Also, we featured on Punch, and we also featured on PR Fire. Right, so you can see all the other newsletters and other news platform that we featured on. All right, so also we had a data hackathon in 2023, and where we gathered professionals to come and showcase their projects, and the number of people won prizes that was up to $1,000 in cash. All right, so yeah, and we had a number of judges like Michelle Conway, Sadiq Akintola, Sebastian Obeta, Olamide, Jola Osho, and these are people from top countries or from top companies in the world. All right, so they were there to grace the occasion. And there are many more things that Ten-Analytics is also working on. All right, so let's go to what we have for you today, which is the practical hands-on session. And so this session is going to be in 4 different parts. The first one is we're going to be introducing Microsoft Excel to you. Then you're going to have a practical session where you will learn how to build an interactive Excel dashboard that updates itself in the next 3 hours that we have for you tonight. All right, so after that, we're going to talk about our upcoming data analytics cohort, and which is starting in September, on September 2nd. And then once we are done with that, we're going to also talk about Ten-Analytics Growth Internship Program, that is available for all our participants. All right, so I hope that at the end of this session, you would have learned a lot. With me tonight is Mohammed Suleiman, and he's going to be driving you through the practical session. All right, so Mohammed Suleiman is a data analyst and data scientist with about 5 years experience. And he's a great person, he's a great teacher, he's a great facilitator. Mohammed has demonstrated a track record of providing data-driven insights and turning complex data into useful insights. So Mohammed works for Alfa Romeo in the US, and he has trained and mentored over 1,500 of our participants in data analytics. So today, Mohammed will be walking you through the process of building an interactive dashboard in Excel. And I hope that you're going to have a nice time. So yeah, let me know in the comments, are we all ready to receive Mohammed tonight? Are we ready to receive Mohammed tonight? All right. All right, Mohammed, everyone is ready to receive you and learn from you. Yes, so yes, the floor is yours, Mohammed. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Right, thank you very much for that introduction. Okay, and I can see some warm welcome in the chat already. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, Toyin, can you confirm if you can hear me, please?
Yes, Mohammed, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right. We all said we are ready for today's task. Okay, and I'm ready as well. So who is ready to build a dashboard? Who is ready to build a dashboard in Excel? Just type I am ready in the chat if you're ready to build a dashboard in Excel. Olaolu, thank you. Adunia Sharon, Bimbola, fantastic. All right. So yeah, we're going to be looking at a very interesting case study, highly relatable. All right. Now we'll be looking at an e-commerce setting, Amazon to be specific. All right. Now you'd agree with me that one of the things that make this e-commerce platform thrive is the feedback they get from customers. Okay, very important, for a platform, right? So what we are going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at the the feedback of customers in Amazon. Okay, specifically, we have a data set that captures products, some of the products that are being sold in there, the brand of the products. We also have information cutting across customer rating and the product rating itself. And when we look at the data set, you have a clear picture of what I'm talking about exactly. Okay, so just one more time, confirm if you can see my screen.
I can see your screen.
Yes. All right. Fantastic.
Yes, go on.
Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, so we'll be building a dashboard that looks like this. Who is ready? Who is ready to do this? Again, I have a reason why I'm asking who is ready. All right, a lot of work. Okay, so even if you cannot follow me, you'll get the recording of today's session. Okay, it's recorded, so you get the recording, you'd get the data set. You'd also be able to replicate whatever we do today in this session. Right, but what I want you to focus on, is the concepts that you'll be learning. Okay, we'll be talking about something very exciting about Excel. Okay, a lot of people may not know that. You may not know that Power Query exists in Excel. Okay, and you'll be seeing that today. So first of all, how many of us have used Excel? How many of us have used Excel? You've used Excel before. It's a very popular tool. You've used it before. Let me know. I have. Yes, I have. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, I'll be taking you to the data set now and we'll start. Okay, we'll start. But just before then, just in case you still want to follow me, okay, even if I've advised that, just take a step back, sit down, enjoy what we're about to do today. All right, but I'll paste the link to download the data set in the chat. Okay, so it's in the chat. You can go ahead and download the data set, okay? Now, looking at the data set itself, right? Looking at the data set itself, we have the identification number, okay? Amazon standard identification number. We also have the brand. You can see Motorola. So I'll readjust this, okay? Now, you can see the brands. You can also see, the product rating, just like we talked about. And you can see the total review. So for this product, okay, there were 7 reviews. Okay, this was the price of the product. And we also have a random customer rating. So, and the reason for the customer rating, the random customer rating, just an individual rating, is we want to see the variation of, just a random selection of a customer's rating, compared to the product rating itself, which is, the aggregation of all the ratings gotten for that particular product. Okay, so again, we have the identification number, we have the brands. You can see Motorola, you can see Samsung. We also have the product rating, right? We have the total reviews, we have the price, okay, and then we have customer rating. Okay, now ordinarily I'll start to get my hands dirty with the data set, but I'll close this. Okay, I'll close this and reopen. I'll open a new Excel workbook. So I'll close this, right? So I'll just save, so it closes. So this is what we're going to be building today. I'll just minimize this as well. So I'll be opening Excel. So open up Excel. So open up Excel. So this is a fresh Excel workbook, right? A fresh Excel workbook. Okay, again, it's going to be a lot of work, okay, in the next one half an hour. So you may want to just sit back, enjoy this session, and we'll collaborate. I'll be asking a few questions, it's going to be an interactive session regardless, okay? Now, what we are going to do is we're going to bring in that data. We are going to, create a live connection to that data. Remember, what we want to achieve is a dashboard that updates itself, okay? So I'll click on data. I'll click on data in Excel, and you'd see get data to the left-hand side, the top left of my screen. All right, so I'll click on get data, and you see from file. So I'll hover my mouse on from file, okay? And what I want to select is from Excel workbook. So I clicked on data, get data from file, from Excel workbook, okay? From Excel workbook. So I would click on that, right? And the data set I want to use, okay? The data set I want to use is Analytics Masterclass data, all right? Analytics Masterclass data. So I'll double click on that. Okay, I'll double click on that, and a Windows opens up. Who has ever seen this within Excel before? If you've ever seen this Windows within Excel before, type yes in the chat. If not, type no. Yes, I have. Fantastic. Yes, I have. No. Yes. No. No. All right. So for those of us who have seen it before, fantastic. If you've not seen it, that's why we are here. Okay. So we are creating a live connection between, to that particular sheet. All right. So somebody said, Austin said, never in my life. So you've seen it today. Okay. And, let's appreciate what we have. So I'll click on the sheet. Okay. And you can see the data set I showed you earlier. you can see a preview. So this is called the Power Query Editor, right? So this is the Power Query Editor. Okay, so all I need to do is, click on load. I would click on load. I don't need to do any transformation, before I load it into Excel, right? It's already in a structure that is good for analysis. So I'll just go ahead and load. So I'd click on load, right? So I'd click on load. So it's processing the query. So just wait a bit. All right, and then I have my data sets in Excel. So now there's a live connection, between this current sheet and what I initially showed you at the beginning of the meeting. I'll just go ahead and stop King's video. Sorry about that. So please turn off your video so that we don't cause any distraction, all right? So now I've created a live connection, okay, between the data set I showed you earlier and what I have here now. This is what I'm going to work with. So now we're going to be answering some key questions, okay? We're going to be answering some key questions, just like I showed you in the slide earlier. All right, so what we need to do first is this. We need to try to create some groups within our data so that, it improves the quality of our analysis. Okay, so to improve the quality of our analysis. So what I would do is I would create a new column in here. Okay, I'll create a new column, right? And I want to create a group for these prices. All right, I want to create a group for these prices. So let me call this price category, right? I'll just call this price category. Price category. Then I resize. Price category. Now, how do I want to categorize my price? Now, what I have here is what we call an Excel table. So I'm just going to close this. Okay, so it doesn't distract us. So what I have here is what we call an Excel table. And how do you know you have an Excel table? When you click anywhere within the data, you would see table design. Okay, so normally you can use your Control T to create an Excel table. Okay, you click anywhere within the data, Control T. Okay, that creates a table for you. But because I brought it in with Spark already a table. Now, table, okay, filtering. So if you look at my price, you'd see the lowest value is around 15. It's around 15. 15. Let me just say $15. Okay, and then if I scroll all the way down, you see I have 999. So that's about $1,000. Okay, so now that I have an idea of the range of my price, I can now create a group. Okay, I can create a group. I can say from 0 to 200. I can create another group that says from 200 to 400. I'll create another that says 400 to 600, 600 to 800, then 800 to 1,000. Okay, 800 to 1,000. Right, so let's do that together. Now to do that, I'll be using my ifs function, ifs function, IFS, right, to tell Excel that, oh, if this is less than, if this is less than 200, give me 0 to 200. Now, if it's less than 400, on the other hand, give me 200 to 400, and so on and so forth. So enough of the talking. Let's get our hands dirty. So equal to ifs, IFS. I'll hit my tab key, right? And I say price, right? Price. I'll click on price. Okay, I'll click on price. Price. If price is less than 200, if price is less than 200, okay, if price is less than 200, all right, give me $0 to $200. $200. Okay, 0 to 200. All right, comma. I'll click on price again. So it's asking me for the second logical test. Okay, so if price again is less than 400, okay, give me $200 to $400, right? And you can see me putting, the value I want it to bring out in quotes, right? So that it's in text format, okay? So that it's in text format. So I'll keep on doing that until I get to 1,000. So let's go ahead. Now, if price is less than 600, right? Somebody's mute, somebody's muted. Just continue. All right, sorry about that, guys. Okay, now somebody's asking, oh, why do I have at price? The reason I have at price is because I'm working with an Excel table. All right, I'm working with an Excel table, so it automatically is like named range, but it's not named range. Okay, so it's what we call structured referencing in Excel, right? Structured referencing. So I would say for this is 400 to 600. Okay, and you can create as many as you like. All right, so I'm going to stop at 1,000. Okay, comma, price. Oh, that was a single quote. Using a double quotes, comma, price. If price is less than, so this is for 800, right? So give me $600 to 800. Okay, close the quotes, comma. Then I would say if price, now, I've gotten to 800. So anything above 800, just give me 800 to 1,000. Okay, anything above 800, give me 800 to 1,000. So if price is greater than or equal to, so that it includes 800, because 800 is not included was not included in this previous condition. Okay, because I've said, oh, less than 800. So it's 799, all the way down. Okay, so I would say if price is greater than or equal to 800, all right, give me $800 to 1,000. 1,000. Okay, and I close my brackets. So I close my brackets. Okay, close my bracket, hit enter. Okay, hit enter. And you can see there I have $49.95 and I have 0 to 200. Okay, 199.99 still under 0 to 200. Okay, I'll just go somewhere else. Let's see. 248.7, I have 200 to 400. So I've been able to categorize my data, and that's going to allow me, to generate, insights more clearly. All right, more clearly. So what I'll do next is I'll format this to, give me accounting, to give me the dollar sign. So I'll just click on home and click on the dollar sign. So I have this, okay? So I have this, right? Nice and clean. So one more thing before we start to answer questions is this. Now, I want you guys to take a close look at this column. This is the customer rating column. If I click on the filter, you see I have 1 to 5. 1 to 5, just like you have on Play Store, you have on, many forums that ask you for reviews. 1 to 5, sometimes you have 1 to 10, but in this case, we have 1 to 5, okay? But I want us to tell me, is Excel seeing this as just as a text or as a number? Guys, is Excel seeing this as a text or as a number? So for the Excel gurus in the house, those of you who said you've used Excel before, type in the chat. Is this a number or a text?
Number.
Okay, all right, number. Fantastic. Okay, now is it possible that you have? Okay, I'll ask it this way. Now, why is it a number? Isn't it possible to have numbers? You have 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth, but it's actually a text. Is it possible? Yes or no? So I want to see the distribution within the house. Is it possible? Okay. Ola Dujoye says yes. Akinyemi says yes. Ola says yes. Razak says yes. All right. So now I'll be creating a column. Okay. I'll be creating a column that turns this column into texts. All right. And why am I doing that? Now, how many of us have seen, your Play Store, when you want to download an app you've not used before and you want to see the reviews? How many of us go to the ratings where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? How many of you go there? How many of you go there? You see the ratings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly, and you see a bar, showing you that most people, give a 5-star, others give a 4-star, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, in that review, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are all categories. They are all categories. So if I go ahead and leave them this way, Excel will just see it as a number, and I won't be able to, create a category for those who, rated the product 1, all the way to 5. So to do that, I would create another column that says customer rating, text, customer rating, texts, and I'll resize that. Okay, customer rating, texts. Okay, so we have customer rating and we have customer rating, text. So what I will do is equal to, and I'll click on this, equal to customer rating, all right? And I hit enter, and you see the Excel table, helps me, do my flash fill. So it's very easy working with the table. Now, but this is still a number. This is still number. So I'll format it to text. Now you can see your text, for example, this is the text. You can see it's aligned to the left of the cell. So texts are usually aligned to the left of the cell, while numbers are aligned to the right. So this is still number. Okay. So please confirm, can we still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
All
you.
right. So if you can't hear me, you may want to check your network, right? So now let's convert to text. So I'll highlight everything in here. Control number one to bring up my format windows. And I would simply click on text, and I hit OK. Simple. So this is now in form of text. Okay, and it is called customer rating text. Right? Customer rating text. So now I think this is where we are done here. Right? We are done here. So what we'll do is we'll be answering questions now. Right? We'll be answering questions now. But before we answer questions, let's give our table a name. Okay, let's give our table a name. So I'll click anywhere within the table and click on table design up here. All right. And I'll come to the left here where I'll see table name. So I click in there, I'll call my table data, and hit enter. Okay, data and hit enter. So the name of my table now is what? Data. All right. The name of my table is now data. Okay. So now I would create a new sheet. I already have a sheet here. Right. So the Power Query editor created this sheet for me, right? Because I brought in the data using Power Query, right? So I can just make use of this sheet, but I want to call it workings. So double click on the sheet to rename workings, right? And then I hit enter to register it. Okay, I hit enter to register it, right? So what I need to do next now is this. I need to create what we call pivot tables. Now, for those of us who have used Excel before, right, we may already know what pivot tables are, right? But for those of us who are new, pivot tables allow us to summarize our data easily, right? It allows us to summarize our data easily. So we'll see how that plays out now, right? Let's see how that works out. So now I could click on insert, okay, and click on pivot table to create pivot table, all right? But I'll show you a faster way, okay? I'll show you a faster way. So I'll press on my keyboard Alt-NVT, all right, Alt-NVT, and these windows pop up, okay? These windows pop up saying, oh, you want to create a pivot table. Okay, what's the name of your table? What is the name of your table? So I'll just type in data. Remember the name I gave my table earlier. I'll type it in here. Okay, I'll type it in here and hit OK. I'll type it in here and hit OK. Now, once I hit OK, you'd notice that you have your pivot table fields, right, at the side. So I can now select, whatever fields I want, depending on the questions I want to answer. So I'll just type this in the chat. It is Alt-NVT. Alt-NVT. So it's in the chat. Okay, Alt-NVT. Yes, N for no, V for vest, T for towing. All right. Okay. So now, we'll start to answer our questions. So the first question I would like to answer is, how many products were reviewed? How many products were reviewed? Now remember, my ASIN, which is my identification number, depicts each product. Okay, so I'll drag that and drop in values. Right, I'll drag that and drop in values. And you can see here I have count of ASIN. That's just my product. Okay, so I have 592. 592. Okay, 592. Right, 592 products. Now, what I need to do next is I want to know how many reviews were done. Okay, how many reviews were done? Now, if you come back here, you see for this product, it had 3 reviews. It had 7 reviews. I beg your pardon. This had 22 reviews, and so on and so forth. So I want to see the total reviews. Okay, I want to see the total reviews. So I'll create another pivot table. So for each question I want to answer, I create a pivot table. So for total reviews, Alt-NVT again, I'll type in data. Okay, type in data and hit enter. Okay, so that selects OK for me. All right. So I want to see the total reviews. So I'll drag my total reviews and drop it in values. Okay, I'll drag my total reviews and drop it in values. And I have sum of total reviews. So Excel automatically sums my reviews up for me. All right, so I can see 63,642. 63,642. Now,
Hi,
let's also get.
Hello.
Sorry, who is speaking, please?
Busola is speaking. Please, I have a question before you continue.
Sorry, we'll respond to all question when it's done. Is that okay, Busola? Respond to all question.
That means you have to come here. Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
All right, so sorry about that. So the thing is, it's a recorded, it's a recorded session. So you have nothing to worry about. Okay, I would recommend that you sit back, enjoy the session, all the way to the end, and you can, in your free time, recreate this yourself. Okay. Right. Sorry about that. And we'll take questions at the end of this. Okay. Take questions. If you want to ask me any question, I'll definitely take the question. So I want to see the average rating overall. Okay, the overall average rating. Okay, the overall average rating. Now, to do that, Alt NVT again. All right, so I type in data, hit enter. Okay, and I go to where I have my rating, my product rating, and I drag that to values. Okay, so Excel automatically sums it up for me. That's not what I want. What I want is average. Okay, so I click on the drop down here. Okay, I click on the drop down here where I dragged product rating to in here. All right, so I dragged it to values. So it sums it up for me by default. So I'll click on the drop down, select value field settings, okay, and I select average. I select average, okay, and I hit OK. So that takes it to average for me, all right? It takes it to average for me. So I have a lot of decimal places. Let me reduce that. I'll click on home, and under my numbers ribbon here, I'll reduce the decimal place to just 1. So I have 3.8. On average, I have 3.8. Okay, average product rating is 3.8. All right, so let's continue. We still have a couple of questions to answer. All right, and then, we create our charts. All right, now let's answer another question. Okay, let's see our products, okay, and the average rating for each of them. Our products and the average rating for each of them. So Alt NVT. Now, if you don't have Alt NVT, right? You don't have Alt NVT, maybe you're using a MacBook, right? What you want to do is you can simply click on Insert, okay, Insert, and click on Pivot Table. So that brings up the same windows that would have popped up if you're using Alt NVT, all right? So that's that about that. Okay, so click on Insert, click on Pivot Table, and this comes up, and you can simply type data in there, hit enter, and I want to see my brands, so I'll drag that to rows. So I see all my brands, Apple, ASOS, Google, and so on and so forth. And I want to see my ratings. So again, Excel sums it up for me. That's not what I want. What I want is average. So I click on the drop down, click on value field settings, okay, and click on average. And I hit OK. So I have this, okay, I have this. So again, I want 1 decimal place. So I'll just click on home and use this to reduce the decimal place to 1. So I can see for Apple, I have 3.8, ASOS 3.9, Google 3.8, all the way to Xiaomi, and Xiaomi is 4.4, right? 4.4. So we are starting to see stories. Okay, we're starting to see stories. Right? We're starting to see stories. So let's have a chart for this. Okay, let's have a chart for this. So I'll click anywhere in the pivot table. So these are the pivot tables I've been talking about. They summarize your data for you. So I'll click anywhere in there. Okay, and click on pivot table analyze, pivot table analyze, pivot table analyze, and I click on pivot chart. So I click on pivot chart, and I have a number of chart suggestions, right? I have a number of chart suggestions. I'll use a bar chart for this, okay? I'll use a bar chart for this. I'll use a bar chart. So I'll select bar and hit OK. All right, I'll select bar and hit OK. All right, so we'll come back to, formatting our charts and, giving it a befitting title, right? So, but what we want to do is let's rearrange this from highest to lowest. Okay, let's rearrange this from highest to lowest. All right, let's rearrange this from highest to lowest. Okay, so to rearrange that, I right click anywhere within the pivot table. Okay, I right click anywhere within the pivot table, sort. Okay, largest to smallest. Okay, but the chart appears inverted. I have it largest to smallest in here, but it appears inverted. So I'll do it the other way around. Right click, sort, smallest to largest. And I have it this way. I have Xiaomi, Huawei, ASUS, followed by Google and the like. So I'll take out these buttons. All right, click on the buttons, hide all field buttons on chart. Hide all field buttons on chart. So I click that. I click on total here, delete. Right, so it gives my chart enough space. Okay, so we'll come back to completing the formatting. So let's go on to another question. So another question we'll be answering is, let's see, you remember the price categories that we created. So we want to see the average product rating by each of those price categories. Okay, by each of those price categories. So again, Alt NVT, or simply click on Insert and click on Pivot Table. All right. Type in the name of your table. Mine is data. I hit enter. Okay, and then I want to see the price category. Put that in rows. Okay, so I have it this way, and then product rating values. Again, it sums it up. All right, but I want to see average. So I click on the drop down here, value field settings, average, and I hit OK. I hit OK. All right, I hit OK. All right, so I highlight again, click on home to reduce the decimal place, all right, to 1. I reduce the decimal place to 1, and I have this. All right, so again, I would create my chart for this. Right, I would create my chart for this. Okay, I'll create my chart for this, and I'll be using a what we call an area chart for this. Okay, I'll be using an area chart for this. So I'll click on the chart and the pivot table, click on pivot table, analyze, click on pivot chart. So this is the suggested chart, but what I want is area charts. Okay, so I'm using an area chart for this. So I'll hit OK. All right, and I have my area chart. I have my area chart. So I can see from 0 to 200, you can see it's increased a bit. Where the ratings are increasing. The ratings increased, from 0 to 200 to 200 to 400. Okay, and then it reduced a bit, coming to 400 to 600. This category, it increased very, very significantly, going to 600 to 800, and then it dropped again, to according to the category, 800 to 8,000. So again, I'll click on total, take that out. I'll right click on value field buttons, and hide all value field buttons. Okay, hide all value field buttons. So we'll come back, to this, right? Come back to this. So area chart gives us, the opportunity to compare, the different categories, different price categories to our ratings. Okay, so let's see. Now let's look at our, we created this group. What do we call that? We created our customer rating. Okay, so we want to see each of the customer rating, right? I will see how many people actually rated. I want to see how many people rated 1, how many people rated 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. Okay, and so on and so forth. All right. Now let's go back to workings. Alt NVT. Okay, data. Right, data. Hit OK. Right, I hit OK. So what I want to see is my customer rating. All right, so customer rating. Again, we are going to use text. If I put, I'll show you now. This is the one that is number, and this is the one that is text, customer rating text. So if I put the number in rows, okay, if I put the number in rows, this is what I have. Okay, This is what I have, right? But I would use, the text that I created instead, okay? The text that I created instead, that ensures that I have my numbers just like this, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Excel is able to, group it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the categories, all right? And then I can now count. I'll use the customer rating again, the customer rating text, I'll drag it to values. Okay, drag it to values. Yes, it sums it up. For some versions, it will not sum it up, okay, because it's text. It's not going to sum it up. So I'm using 365, right? That's why you see it comes with the latest updates, right? So what I'll do is I'll change this to count, all right? Instead of sum, I'll change it to count. I'll hit OK, and I have the count. So what count does is 175 people rated 1, 32 people rated 2, 43 people rated 3, right? 72 people rated 4, and 270 people rated 5, right? 270 people rated 5. So what I'll use for this, okay? What I'll use for this is I'll use a radar chart. Now, how many of us have played PES or FIFA? How many of us have played PES or FIFA? And you'd see a chart, that looks like this, and you have the different skill sets of a particular footballer, okay, around the shape, and then depending on the skills, the rating of that part of a particular skill for that footballer, you see a shape inside, tilted towards.
Yes, it appear like an.
Yeah, so for those of us who have played PES or FIFA, you see that. But for those of us who haven't, it's called a radar chart, and this is how it looks like. So I'll click on this pivot table analyze, pivot chart, and you'd see radar. So I'll click on radar and click OK. So I have this, all right? I have this. So again, I'll take out the value field buttons. I'll take total out so that my chart has space. Okay, and you can see from this chart that most people rated 5. You can see the chart tilts towards 5. Okay, and then you see a good number of people also rated 1. Okay, very low amount of people compared to 1 and 5 rated 2. Same goes for 3 as well as 4. Okay, so this is what we call a radar chart. Right? This is what we call a radar chart. Okay, that's what we call a radar chart. And finally, we'll be looking at our brands, the different products. Okay, the different products that we have. And I want to see how many people rated for how many people rated 1, how many people rated 2, how many people rated 3 for each of the products. Okay, so I'll scroll down. I'd create another pivot table. All right, enter data, hit enter. All right, hit enter. So I want to see brands in row. Okay, and I have it this way. I see brands in row. All right, customer rating, texts, drag it to column. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then customer rating text again, drag it to values. Okay, drag it to values. All right, drag it to values. And what I want to see is counts. All right, I want to see the counts. Okay, so I have the counts in there. So what I want to do now is I want to use 100% stacked bar chart, and you see how it looks like. That's one of the best ways to visualize this kind of data. So click anywhere in the data, pivot table analyze, pivot charts, click on stacked, 100% stacked column, and see what I have, okay? So I'll click on okay. So all the columns, are converted to 100%, right? 100%, okay? 100%. And you can see for Xiaomi, for example, a very good proportion of people actually rated 5, as you can see, using the color code, okay? So again, I'll take out the value field buttons, right? Click on the charts, click on plus, and I'll add chart title, and I would call it, let's call it distribution. Let's just say distribution of ratings by products. Okay. Distribution of ratings by products. Okay, so now we have all our charts. We have all our charts. We have, our summaries here. I'll keep some of our KPIs in there. So what I need to do now is let's start to create an area for our dashboard. So I'll create a sheet and call that dashboard. I'll create a sheet and call that dashboard. Okay, I'll call this dashboard. So I'll create my dashboard in here. All right, I'll be creating my dashboard in here. So I'll take out the grid lines. That's the first thing I'll do, take out the grid lines. And to do that, I'll click on view. I'll click on view and you'd see where you have grid lines. So I'll uncheck grid lines and I have a white plain canvas where I can play around with, okay? So I can play around with this, right? I can play around with this. So I'll be building my dashboard in here. So what I'll do is I'll use a color. I'll select a color. Okay, so Control A to highlight the entire space. All right, and I'll use this bucket sign to select a color. So I'll be selecting. This is too dark. Let me use this. Okay, I'll use this color. All right, so let me use this color. Okay, I'll use this color. And then I begin to bring in, my elements to hold my spaces for my different charts. So what I'll do is this. So first of all, I'll bring in a shape. To bring in a shape, okay, I'll click on inserts, all right, inserts, you see illustrations. Click on the drop down, you see shapes, okay, you see shapes, right? I'll click on shapes and I'll select rectangle. So select rectangle, I can draw a rectangle. I have a rectangle here. Okay, I have a rectangle here. So I'll give the rectangle a color that I want. So I'll click on shape fill, right? So give it a slightly darker color than what I already have. Give it a darker shade, right? I'll give it a darker shade, and I'll be using this as my title, right? So I'll just put it from here, drag it all the way to this side. So I'll have my title in here. Okay, I'll have my title in here. I also want something here. Okay, so I'll just put. Okay, so first of all, let me try to make this shape more interactive. Okay, so I'll just put a little effect in there. So this doesn't really affect the dashboard. I just want to make it as visually appealing as possible. Okay, now that I have it this way, all right, I can Control D to duplicate. I'll just duplicate that instead of going through the entire process again, and do it this way. All right, so I'll just bring it to this side, make it this way. So I have this element here. Okay, I have this here. All right. So I have it this way. Okay, so I have it this way. So I can duplicate again. Okay, so I'm creating my placeholder. So for here, I'll be putting in the total product in here. Okay, Control D to duplicate. Then I'll put in what do we call that? I'll put in my total reviews in here. And finally, I'll put in my average product in here. So I was just using Control D to duplicate. So, and then I want about 4 charts, spread around. So I'll just duplicate again, resize. So I'm putting a chart in here. Okay, I'm putting a chart in here. So who's enjoying what's happening already? Who's enjoying what's happening already? Who is enjoying what is happening already? Is this looking more like, is looking already like a dashboard? Very good.
It's looking
Very
good.
good. Exactly. Thanks for that. So I'm just, creating the spaces where areas where I'll put my charts. I'll bring in my chart in a bit. Right? I'll bring in my chart in a bit. Just trying to okay. So I have this, and then finally I have one here. All right, so I'm putting my radar chart in here. Okay, I'm putting my radar chart in here. So now what I need to do is let's give it a title. Let's give it a title. So I'll bring in my text box. Okay, I'll put in the text box. So insert, I'll click on insert. I'll click on text, click on text box, and just draw in here. Okay. This is going to be my title. So I'll say Analytics Masterclass Dashboard. Analytics Masterclass Dashboard. Okay. Amazon sales, or we can say Amazon review analysis. Amazon review analysis. Let me write it this way. Amazon review analysis. Okay, so I'll just format this. I'll take out the background. No fill, right? So I'll format the text to white. Okay, format the text to white, right? Still highlighting it, click on home. I'll change this to Georgia. Make it slightly bigger. Okay, that may be too big. Okay, make it slightly bigger. Okay, widen this and then drag it all the way here. So for the shape itself, I'll remove the outline. Okay, I'll remove the outline, no outline, and I have this. Okay, then it analytics dashboard, Amazon review analysis. Okay, and I can put an effect. I'll just put this. Okay, so I'll just use text effects. So just pretty much, giving my dashboard good looks. So I can duplicate this now. I can duplicate this, Control D, and drag it here, right? So let's call this total products. So I reduce this, Control A to highlight. I reduce the font size a bit, total products, right? And I place it in here. So I can duplicate this now. I can duplicate this and put it in here. Okay, and call this total reviews. Right? Total reviews. Okay, duplicates again. You can see once I format once, I don't need to, feed the process again, right? So this will be called average product rating. Average product rating. So create enough space for that. All right, average product rating. Okay, so who is enjoying what we are building? Who is enjoying what we are building already? who is enjoying the session. So we're going to bring in fantastic guys. So we're going to bring in all this information into
Enjoying it.
right. So let's bring in all the information into that area. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll click on this box for total products. I'll click on this box inside my formula bar in here, equal to. All right. I click on workings and I click on the cell where I have my total products and I hit enter. And you say, oh, Mohammed, nothing happens. But if you look closely here, if you look at this area, you'd see 592 somewhere in there. 592 somewhere in there. Okay. At the top left corner of my screen, it may be strenuous to see it, right? But I'll format that and go on. So let me just format that. I'll click in here, click on shape format, change the text to white, right? Change the text to white, change it to Georgia, increase the text size. Can we all see it now? So, and then
Yes.
Fantastic. So I align it to center. So I align it to the center. So 592 total products. So I'll bring in total reviews in the same way. So I'll click in there, equal to, go to workings, click on total review, hit enter. Okay. I'll do the same for average products. All right. I'll do this. So I'll click on average products, formula bar equal to, and I bring in my average product as well. Hit enter. Okay. So I'll just, since I've formatted this, I'll just click in here, click on my format painter, I'll double click on it, click on this and click on this. Okay. Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah, we are good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you're good.
Please do
All
that
right.
again.
So let's
we are
bring
good.
in. All right. You can just type it in the chat, okay, so that we don't forget to mute. When
Yeah, we are good.
right. Okay. So now let's go on, to bring in our charts. So I'll go to the first chart. This is my first chart. Okay, this is my first chart. So I'll just scoop it. I'll scoop the chart. I'll scoop it as if, I'm working with a shovel, right? So Control X, I'll click on the chart, Control X. Okay, and it is scooped. So I'll come here, let me put it here, Control V. So I've pasted it in here. I'll just close this pivot chart field. So I'll resize this. Okay, I'll resize this this way, right? I'll take out the shape field, right? Take out the shape field, the text, turn it to white, the grid lines, I'll click on the grid lines, okay? Delete, take out the grid lines, okay? Yeah, so for the text format, change it to Georgia, okay? And I can include the labels. Okay, I include labels. Okay, so I can increase the size of the text a bit. All right, so it's more visible. Click on the x-axis and take it out. So it gives my chart more space since I've already put in my labels. Okay, then I can use for the bars, I could use this color. Right, take out the outline. So we have this. You can see Xiaomi, Huawei, and the likes. Okay. So I also take out the outline, so I don't have this line on the bottom. Shape outline, take it out. So I have a nice and clean chart. Okay. So let me bring in another chart. I'll bring in my area chart in here. So I'll scoop this through X. Come back here, Control V to paste. Then I put that, I resize this in here. Okay, so I'll just copy this format and paste it here, and then I can do the rest. So I'll click on this chart, click on my format painter, and click on this chart. Okay, so the text appears to disappear. All right. So, but by the time I take out the shape view, no view. So I have this. I click on the grid lines, delete. Okay, so the area, I click on the area, shape view, I click on this. Okay, so it's the same color as this. Okay, so we'll come back to the titles. We'll come back to their titles. Okay, we'll give them more appropriate titles, and we can all see the ratings. Okay, so I'll put a data label on this. So I'll take this y-axis out, put in my data label, click on the plus sign, data label. So my data labels are white, so I'll click on the data labels. My text, take it to black. Okay, Control X for scooping. It's actually cutting, okay? Control X to cut, right? So I just drag this in a bit so you can see it. Okay, and we can all see the ratings that we have in there, right? So don't forget to take out the shape outline, okay? Take out the shape outline, right? So for the charts, take out the shape outline, right? So that goes. Okay, so now I'll bring in, what do I have? I'll bring in, what chart again do I have? Right, I have my reader charts. So Control X to scoop, come to my dashboard, I'll put that one in here, Control V to paste. Right, so let me resize that very well. Okay, I size it in there. So I'm just formatting, all right? So I can click on these charts, take the format, give it this format. Then I now begin to, take out shape view, take out the shape view, take out the shape outline. This looks good already, right? This looks good already. So again, I'll use my color for this, for the line, okay, for the reader itself. So shape outline, I'll use this color. Okay, so I have this, right? So finally, I'll bring in the distribution, Control X, bring it in here, Control V to paste, I'll resize that. Okay, I'll resize that, right? So I'll increase okay, let me increase this a bit, just a bit. All right, so bring this in here. Okay, so I take this format, put it in here, okay? So what I'll do next is take out the background as usual, okay? The outline, take it out, no outline, click on the grid lines, take it out, right? So I can reduce the text size a bit so that it gives my chart, more space, all right? So this looks good, okay? This looks good. Now, guys, how are we holding up? How are we liking today's session? So we're almost there, right? We are almost there.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Right, fantastic.
Fantastic.
So let's give it
Fantastic.
a title. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Right, so let's call this price versus rating. Okay, so I'll just be very quick with this. Relationship, right? And I'll call this top products. Okay, top products, right? So I'll call this as popular rating. Popular rating amongst customers. Okay, what else? I think that's all right? So in this area, let me bring in my slicers quickly. I'll bring in my slicers, right? So slicers are used to, slice. Okay, how many of us know how to slice? So it's used to slice our charts so that we can, do some deep dive into the visuals, and we'll see how that works out now. So I'll click on any of the charts pretty much. Click on pivot table analyze. Now see insert slicers. Okay, insert slicer. So basically the filter is used to filter your data or slice your data, however you want to call it. So I'll click on slicers and I want 2 slicers. I want brand and price category. Okay, brand and price category, and I hit OK. All right, so and I have 2 clean slicers in here. So I can put this here, put this here. Let me reduce it a bit. Price category. And I put the brand beside it. Put the brand beside it. Okay, then I can use my slicer style to select a color that I like, that matches my dashboard, and I have slicers. Okay, so but when I click on Apple, okay, it only affects this. You can see I can see Apple, but it's just for this chart. Okay, so now to get it back, to get it to interact with the other charts, all I need to do is, all right, click on the slicer and click on report connection. Report connection. Click on report connection, and I select all the pivots, all the pivot tables that I have, all of them, check the box and hit OK. And I'll do the same for this. Right click, report connection. I check everything. Check the box. Don't leave anything unchecked. Don't leave anything unchecked. OK. And now the moment of truth. When I click Apple, you can see my entire chart is formatted. It affects all the entire chart. So this is for Apple. What you can see on my screen is for Apple. You can see 61 products, 6,225. 6,254 reviews. Okay, I beg your pardon. And 3.8 average rating. Click on ASOS. You can see ASOS 3.9, 263, 5 products. Huawei. So who is excited? Who is excited? Who is excited? Who is excited? Okay. Who is excited? No responses. I am. Fantastic.
I'm excited.
Fantastic. So now, just if you're wondering, you want to take out you've affected your slicer. If you've affected your slicer, you want to take it out, simply just click on the funnel sign here. Okay, click on it and it takes it out. All right, so that's your slicer. But now, let's add more data to our original data. Okay, let's add more data to our original data and see what happens. So, can I still remember the name of the file I connected to? So I would open the file. Okay, so it is Tenalytics Masterclass data. All right, Tenalytics Masterclass data. So I'd open it up. Right, so let's open that up. So I want to add more data. So this was the original data. Did we remember? Do you remember that I projected this data for us?
Yes, I remember.
Exactly. All right, so this was the data we were working with. So currently it's 593. Fantastic. So when you exclude the headers, that means we have 592 products, which is what we have here, 592. So because of time, I will just do a copy and paste of some of the data that I have already. So I'm going to simulate additional data. All right. So let me just copy from here. Okay. Control C. So I'm adding more data. So Control V. All right. Escape. Okay. Control V to paste. Now I've pasted. Now it's no longer 592. Let's go to the end. It's now 642, meaning 641 products. 641 products, excluding the header. Sorry, can we all see my screen? Can we all still see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right, we're about to round up. So I've added data to what I initially had. So I'll save this, Control S to save. It is saving. Right, so let's just give it, my Excel is, doing a lot of work. So, okay. right? So the file format, this could corrupt and unsave. Do you want to open it anyway? Yes, all right. So yeah, so that saves in there, right? I don't want to save it as a new, I don't want to save it as a new file. I also actually want to save it, I want to save it in here. So I'll just simply click on OK. So I click OK, all right? I click OK. So you can see now it is saved, all right? It is saved. Okay, let me just make sure I'm in the correct data set. So I'm opening up Analytics Masterclass data, all right? Let's open that up again. Let's confirm. All right, so it's not saved yet. So I'll just copy again. All right, Control V. So I'll paste the values. All right, paste the values. So I'll just save that. Okay, so I'll just save that. So Excel is kind of struggling, all right? My Excel is struggling, so trying to save in a different file. So it's trying to save it in a different file. So I won't save that. I won't save that, all right? I won't save that. So I want to save it in here. Okay, so I want to save it in here. So saved file. So it's saved now as Analytics Masterclass data, right? Analytics Masterclass data. And now you can see it is 609, meaning we now have 608 products, okay? When you exclude the header, okay? When you exclude the header. So this is saved, so I can close this up. Okay, I'll close this up and go back. This was the sheets where we're working with. Okay, this was the sheet where we're working with. So this is the table that I imported initially. Okay, this is the table I imported. It's still ending in 593. So I'll go to query. I'll click on query here, click on query, and click on refresh. Okay, click on query and click on refresh. Click on query, okay, and click on refresh. Okay, click on refresh, right? So when you click on refresh, you see your data, okay? Click on refresh. So again, I need to also click on data and click on refresh as well, and click on refresh as well, okay? So let's see, we have that. So we still have 593. Okay, let's ensure we are refreshing the correct, file. Let's see again. Just one moment, guys. So 593. That's the reason why it's not refreshing. So I'm just going to, type in, dummy data in here, right? Just going to type it in, put Samsung, right? So I'll just do that manually. Right? Just a moment, guys. Okay, so it's refusing to save for some reason. Okay, refusing to save for some reason. So let's get it saved. Once we save and we refresh, you'll definitely, see how that plays out. Okay, doesn't match. The file could be corrupted. Okay, no, and okay. All right, so it's saving as a different file. Okay, so what I'll do is click on save again. Okay, it wants to save as a different file. All right. Okay, no issues at all. So what we'll do is this. Close this up. Okay, close this up. let's refresh anyways. I'll refresh anyways, okay? So let me just add it. I'll add the data in here myself, okay? I'll add the data in here myself. Let's add data, the table ourselves, okay? Samsung. So 5, so 1. Okay, let's add the data in here ourselves. All right, so we have this now. So we've added 6 more data sets, 6 more records, 6 more products in there. Added 6 more products in there. All right, just to show you how it updates. Okay, I'll sort out my issue, the issue in my Excel later. Right. So now that we have this, we have additional data. Okay, what we'll do is we'll go to workings, click on data, refresh. Okay, refresh. And once I refresh, you see I now have 598. 598. 598. Guys, are we together? Are we together?
Yeah, we're together.
Fantastic. So once you add in more data, okay, you can see once you add in more data, you would have it refresh. Okay, you can see 598. And when I go to my dashboard, you can now see 598 as opposed to 592. All right, so sorry about the issue with saving, but I hope we're able to learn 1 or 2 things in today's session, guys. Were you able to learn 1 or 2 things?
Yeah, I was able to.
All right, so give me a thumbs up. All right, so once you add in more data, all you need to do is to click on query. When you click on query, you'd click on refresh. Okay, click on refresh, and you'd have that refresh. Okay, you'd have that refresh. Now, because I added the data manually, okay, and I refreshed again, it went back to pick. It went back to pick, what I initially have in the original file, which is 592 entries, and my dashboard is back here. Okay, so that's how your data updates. All right. So tell me if you learned a lot. Tell me if you learned a lot. Type I learned a lot in the chat. I learned a lot in the chat. I learned a lot. Fantastic. Okay, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I learned a lot. Fantastic. All right. Okay, I learned a new thing. That's good. Okay. So this is just a snippet, of what you can do with Excel. There are a lot more, that you'll be learning within our program itself. Okay. So cheers, guys. So over to you, Tony. Hey, I learned a lot. People are still responding, right? I did not start on time. So don't worry, you get the recording. Okay, you get the recording of this session again. So in your, your free time, maybe after work tomorrow, you can just, get on the recording and run through the entire process from beginning, right? It's also be available on YouTube. So go to our page on YouTube, right? Go to YouTube, type Tenalytics. So type Tenalytics, okay? Tenalytics, as I've typed it in the chat. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. You'd have this video in our YouTube, on our YouTube space. So you can do well to watch that in there also. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, and do well to like our videos. So cheers, guys.
Thank you so much, Mohammed, for that wonderful teaching. Thank you so much. I hope everyone learns 1 or 2 things, one new thing or the other. All right, so yes, if you learned something new, let me see your comments in the chat box describing what you learned. What did you learn today? Write it in the chat box for us to see. Oh, Tony, I learned this. Mohammed, thank you so much for teaching me this. So I want to see what you learned in the comments. All right, if you learned anything new, let me see what you learned in the comments. Yeah, radar charts. Thank you so much, Olaolu. Yeah, thank you, Salisu. Salisu learned some. Oh, Salisu said it's new. Great. Great. Thank you so much, Shetima. All right. Pivot tables from Jackie. Linking of slicers, Babajide. All right, so great. I'm glad to know that we all learned something new from the section today. All right, so yes, all this and much more will you be able to learn in our data analytics and other programs if you join. So before we talk about the other programs, I know that we have like a lot of questions that we have been asking and you're wondering if you get answers to them. All right, so you get answers to them before the end of the session. So I've seen a number of questions around whether the recording will be made available. Yes, the recording will be made available. So all you need to do is fill the attendance form so that we can get your details and get the recording across to you. Okay, so kindly fill the attendance form. You have access to the recording as well as the slides for today's masterclass. So that's why you are required to fill the attendance form. All right, so yes, link to the attendance form has been dropped in the chat. So kindly go ahead. Let's see. All right. All right, so I've dropped the link to the attendance form in the chat box. All right, so please kindly make sure that you fill it before you leave today. All right, so kindly make sure that you fill the link before you leave today so that you can have access to the recording as well as the files that's or the PDF that Mohammed used for this class. All right, so thank you so much, Mohammed. That was a wonderful session. Basically, you can see that everyone here or most of us here learned something new. So thank you. All right, so moving on, if you have any questions, please drop it in the comments. Drop your questions in the comments. I'll be taking them one after the other. But while we're waiting for your questions, let's look at the average salary of a data analyst. So Mohammed has shown us what some of the things data analysts do with Excel. But let's look at the average salary of a data analyst based on information from read.co.uk, Glassdoor. In the UK, you can see that the average salary of a data analyst is £40,456, with the lowest salary from with the salary range from £34,000 to £54,000. And in Canada, we see that the data analyst's average salary is between is £64,000, ranging between dollars, ranging between 45,000 Canadian dollars to 91,000 Canadian dollars. Also, we see that in the US, average salary of a data analyst is 72,000 US dollars, ranging from 47,000 US dollars to 111,000 US dollars. So you can see that data analysts are actually earning well. And what is your role? What will you be doing as a data analyst? As a data analyst, your main role or your main responsibility will be to analyze and interpret data so as to help organizations generate insights and help them make data-driven decisions. So data is now the new oil, and many organizations are realizing that data can actually send in so much information and help them assess their business. And so as a data expert, you are like a hot cake. All right. So as a data professional, you're one person that every organization will need. So yes, the role of a data analyst cannot be the role of a data analyst is very important. And what are some of the responsibilities of a data analyst? A data analyst is going to have to identify relevant data sources, and also try and make sure that company is gathering sources, data that are from relevant sources. Also, a data analyst is responsible for making sure that company data is clean and is fit for use. And how does a data analyst make company data fit for use? By cleaning the data and pre-processing the data, and sometimes you call that data transformation for the organization. All right, so also a data analyst also performs exploratory data analysis so as to discover patterns, trends, and correlations amongst different variables. And all of these help the data analyst to point key areas to the organizations, or where are the areas where we can improve our processes, improve our business, improve sales, for example, reduce customer churn, for example. So it is your role as a data analyst to point a person or the organization to some of these areas. All right, so someone is asking in the chat box that these salaries, are they per month? No, they are not per month. They are per annum. They are per annum. Thank you so much, Eyi Mofe, for the response as well. All right. So someone is saying that what is the difference between data analyst and data engineer? All right, so data analysts actually make use of data, available data, to process it. They try to make sense out of it by analyzing the data and creating visualization, while the data engineer is in charge of making data available for the organization. So basically, the data engineer takes the data from the sources, different sources like from web pages and all of that, passes it through a pipeline and makes it available for anyone, usually the data analyst and the data scientist, that will be making use of data to derive insights and provide recommendations. So I don't know, Babajide, I hope you got that, the difference between data analyst and data engineer. All right. All right. So yes,
Can you
other
just go through
things.
it again, please?
Please come again. I didn't get that.
Yeah, I'm the one that asked the question, difference between
Okay.
data analyst and data engineer.
All
Please, can you
right.
put more light to the key function of a data engineer?
All right. So let's take a look at an example. In a company, for example, let's say in an investment technology company, an investment tech company, one of the kind of data that they'll be taking is probably customers that visit their website, right? And so this information, for example, about customers that visit their website, as customers are coming onto their website, as their website is generating traffic, they are taking records of this data. Okay, let's look at another example, like Instagram, for example. For every account that is opened on Instagram, for every likes, for every share, in the background, right, there is data being generated. Now, the role of the data analyst is to the role of the data engineer is to access data from the source into a general location where it is accessible by different individuals within the company. So now the data analyst makes use of data, the data scientist makes use of data, and what do they do with data? They analyze data to derive insights. Now, but the data engineer is in charge of all the processes from where the data is coming from, now passing it to a pipeline until it gets to a general data point in the organization, and then until it gets to the individuals that need the data, which is like the data analysts and the data scientists and other members of the team. I hope that's like clearer.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so you can see that the data analyst also, in most cases, collaborates with the business analyst, the data engineer, the data scientist, the HR department, the finance department, power platform engineers, and other key offices in an organization. So yes, the role of a data analyst is very, very important, and we cannot stress enough why data analysts are becoming hotcakes in the world of today. All right, so what are the pathways to becoming, or what is the pathway to becoming a data analyst? What is the pathway to becoming a data analyst? The first thing that you need to know is your problem-solving knowledge. You need to have problem-solving techniques, okay? Then that is how to solve problems, basically, interpreting problems, understanding company goals, and being able to find a solution to those problems. The second thing that you need to know is knowledge of Microsoft Excel for data analytics, followed by SQL. Now, many companies are storing their data in a database. Excel is limited now. You have over a million, just over a million rows that your Excel can process. And even with that 1 million rows, at some point, you find out that your Excel is dragging and slowing down your processes because of the large amount of data set that you have on it. But your database is able to handle way much data, like millions and millions and millions and millions of records. So that's why a lot of companies are generating data. So big companies like Facebook, Amazon, Twitter, or X that we know of right now, they are making use of SQL, because you can imagine the number of subscribers that a place like Facebook has is a lot, billions of people, right? So yeah, these companies now use databases to save their data. And for you to be able to interact, to question, to ask questions, or retrieve information from those databases, you need to have understanding of SQL. So as a data analyst, you don't want to get to a company that makes use of data analysis and make use of SQL and be looking at, oh, what's going on here? All right, so another another thing that you need to learn as a data analyst is Microsoft Power BI. So Power BI actually allows you to create data models from a flat file. You also have a wide range. When I mean a wide range of visualizations, you have a wide range of visualizations in Power BI. There is a key influencer, there is the decomposition tree that even a lot of data analysts do not make use of. There are external visualization tools that are available on Power BI nowadays. All right, so you need to have an understanding of Power BI as a data analyst. The next thing you need to also know is Tableau. And Power BI and Tableau are the most popular visual business intelligence tool that are available now. So while you need Power BI, you also want to have Tableau, just in case you get into a company where they don't use Power BI and then their tool is Tableau. So you also need to learn Tableau for data analytics. Then now Microsoft is now making use of Microsoft Fabric, and you have tools like Power BI and other data tools that are available on Microsoft Fabric that you can actually leverage as a data analyst. Then also ChatGPT. I cannot even tell you the number of times that I've had to pop onto ChatGPT as a data analyst to ask questions, get insights, and see one or two things that I can use to improve my project. So all these things are things that you'll be learning at 10Analytics Data Analytics program. All right. So like I said, you'll be introduced to problem solving, Microsoft Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, Microsoft Fabric, and ChatGPT, and how to leverage ChatGPT as a data analyst. Now, these are some of the projects that our participants have worked on. So here you can see that we have a dashboard on employee attrition, and you can see some of the things that they were able to do. Not just is their dashboard visually appealing, you can see that it's sending a lot of information, and it's basically talking about the reasons why employees are exiting this company. And with this dashboard, this participant was able to identify the key areas where this company should focus on to reduce attrition in the organization. Yeah, this is another dashboard worked on by Kehinde Coker, and you can see this is based on a survey that had 373 respondents. Right, so he was able to analyze the data to show the preferences or the transport preferences of different categories of people. And if you look basically into this data set, you see that there are different, there are different key areas that Kehinde Coker was able to identify with his dashboard. All right, so this is another dashboard on retail sales analysis for a supermarket, which was worked on by Adedeji Adeyeyo. Adedeji Adeyeyo also enrolled for the 10Analytics Data Analytics program, and see the wonderful things that she has been able to achieve and work on. All right, so this is another person, Adedapo Adetunji, and this is his dashboard on US accident overview. And you can see the wonderful insights and the beautiful dashboard that he was able to come up with. And there are so many others. This is a project also done on Tableau, and this person was able to identify sales based on forecast sales from different regions. So you can see this blue line with highlights here. So these are the original data that he had, but he was able to predict what is going to happen to Swift in the nearest future, based in every region, based on the data that he had before. And this is what he was able to do in Tableau. So you can actually predict the sales of a company. And these are things that you can use now to, if you notice that there will be a drop in sales based on your forecast, you can advise the company on how to mitigate that, right? And you can advise the company on how to reduce this, or how to avoid this drop in sales. But if you don't see it ahead of time as a data analyst, sorry, your company might be in trouble. But if you are able to identify this ahead of time, or if the company is able to identify this ahead of time with the help of a data analyst, then you'll be saving your company a lot of trouble. And also you'll be saving them money and all of that. So you can see again why the role of a data analyst is very, very important. This is another project by Ayobami Akinbile. All right, so you can see basically this is an e-commerce dashboard, and he was able to look at customers by region. So basically, he was able to do descriptive analysis based on all the data that the company has access to. This is another dashboard by Ibrahim Adeshino on Citrus Insurance PLC, and basically is able to identify or analyze vehicle fraud reports based on the data that we have. All right, so looking at this dashboard now, you can see the different types of in this chart here, you can see the different types of insurance coverage that they add, and you can see that coming top is insurance coverage for sedan vehicles based on collision, right? So you can see he has been able to identify the top insurance type or the top insurance coverage that Citrus Insurance PLC actually has. So yeah, this basically tells you that as a data analyst, now you need a data analytics skills to be able to identify key areas or key information for your company. All right, so before we go ahead and talk about the data analytics roadmap at 10Analytics, before we go ahead and talk about the data analytics roadmap at 10Analytics, I'll go ahead and take some other questions. All right, so yes, Oluchi, you're asking how long is the duration of the program? So that's where we are at right now. So the program is a 4-month learning journey. So it's for 4 months, where the first 3 months are going to be live classes. So you're going to have live classes for the first 3 months. And then you're going to have capstone projects for another period of like a week or 2 weeks. And then finally, the last 1 month is going to be for your virtual internship. So you'll be on an internship for 1 month, which is a virtual internship. All right. So this is how long, or this is going to be your roadmap at 10Analytics. So 3 months of live classes, capstone projects, and 1 month of virtual internship. So I think I've answered Oluchi's question. Yes, I've been able to answer Oluchi's question. So again, the program is for 4 months, right? 3 months of live classes and capstone projects, and 1 month for virtual internship. All right. And the thing is that we have seen that even before the end of these 3 months, some participants have actually landed their first role as data analytics. We have had participants who have landed their first role. We just the Excel class in the first 2 months of this. All right. So I think China Gozie, kindly mute your mic, please. All right. So yes. So the program is 4 months long. Now, your program is going to be virtual instructor-led classes, and we have 2 different classes available based on your time zone or based on where you'll be joining from. So we have 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, and which is usually more convenient from people joining from the UK, Europe, Africa, Asia. All right. And we also have the other classes, which is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Toronto, Canadian time. And this is usually more convenient for people joining from Canada, the United States of America, and so on. So depending on which time is more convenient for you, you can actually now enroll for the different times that are convenient for you. So on Saturday, so the program is basically weekend based, and that's because for those that are working can also join the program, and we'll find out that most of the people transitioning into data analytics are actually people that have day jobs. So we do not want to interfere with your day job. We want also those that are working to be able to benefit from this program so that you can transition properly into tech. All right. So on Saturdays, we have the live classes, and then on Sundays, we have the watch me do it videos that you can watch at your own pace. So even if you don't understand anything from the watch me do it video, on Wednesdays as well, we have drop-in sessions where you can come and then ask your questions. But all these things have been put together at a time that we believe is going to be convenient for you. So you can look at which of these time, whether it's the 11 a.m. West African time or the 11 a.m. Toronto Canadian time that is convenient for you. And then you can enroll for the program. All right, so I'll be stopping a little bit to also take on. All right, so thank you, Efe. He said 10 analytics is the best decision for me. I want to believe that Efe, have you enrolled? I don't know if that means that you have enrolled or you're about to enroll. All right, so yes, you can see now that Efe is here, bearing us witness that 10 analytics actually delivers. Okay, 10 analytics delivers. All right, so thank you so much, Efe. He said 10 analytics has been the best decision he has taken, and I think it's the same for a lot of our participants. All right, so Babajide, how much is it to enroll, enrollment fee from Chikodi? We'll be talking about that shortly. All right, so we'll be talking about that shortly, and I'll answer your question. All right, so learning the technical skills alone is not enough to get you a job, right? Learning the technical skills alone is not enough to get you a job. And this is what we have realized from experience, that people have the technical skills, but they don't have interview knowledge. They don't know how to tailor their CVs. They don't even know how to speak in a public place. So these are some of the things that 10 analytics has brought into consideration. And so your training itself is just 50% of the work. There is another 50% that 10 analytics brings to the table for you. And what are all these things, or what are all the other 50%? The first thing is we have the CV review sessions where you are told or you are taught how to tailor your CV, right? And your CV is also taken and reviewed for you. So you're not left alone to build your CV by yourself. You actually have professionals that are there to help you out to build your CV and provide a great CV for you. Then also, I've met a number of participants that when they were joining 10 analytics, they did not have a LinkedIn profile. And I'm like, in this day and age, how don't you have a LinkedIn profile? Well, of course, we know that there are people that are not even aware, like they are not conversant with how to make use of LinkedIn. All right. So, and this is one thing that 10 Analytics is going to also expose you to. We have professionals, we have people that just by being on LinkedIn, they have landed roles here in Nigeria from companies in the UK, in the US. And this is one thing that 10 Analytics is also going to help you, and is also going to journey with you on. All right, so how to build your LinkedIn and optimize your LinkedIn properly so that employers can actually now get to know what you're doing and what you can do. Also, we find that there are some of our participants that really don't fancy the strict working environment. They would rather freelance, and so we have Upwork optimization sessions where you learn how to build your Upwork profile and make yourself what's accessible to employers on Upwork. And I don't know if you've been on Upwork, you know that it's not that easy to actually get projects on Upwork, especially if you're in majorly the African region, right? It's usually a little bit difficult for Africans to actually get opportunities on Upwork, but it's just how you build your profile, really. It's how you build your profile and present yourself. And these are some of the things that 10Analytics will be showing you. All right, so next is how you can navigate the job market. 10Analytics is also going to be walking you through how you can navigate the job market. Then we also have recommendation and reference letters. And we know that, I know this we have done for students who are enrolling into their master's degree, students who get job or participants who get job. Your new employers require you to get some reference or recommendation letters, and 10Analytics also is there to make this available for you. Then finally, we have the job and interview preparation. All right, so I myself have done interview preps for a number of participants, and I I boast of 60% success rate. So you can see that in fact, 70% success rate, 7 out of 10 actually do land the job. So yes, you can see that it's not just about training. It's not just about learning Excel, learning Fabric, learning this and that. It's much more than that. And so these are some of the things that 10Analytics also offer. All right, so I'm just going to go into the chat box, and yeah, okay. So King Dimeji said he can't hear me anymore. Can everyone still hear me, please? Let me know that you can all hear me. So
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear
all
you.
right, so thank you. All right, Dimeji, please kindly check your audio. Yeah. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. So some of the projects that you will work on, right? Some of the projects that you work on is the Castro Technologies Workplace Sports Facility. And basically this project is you as a data analyst now trying to analyze the workplace facility and see if this particular workplace needs a sports facility or not. And I must say that one of the things we pride ourselves in at 10Analytics is not just teaching or learning things. You're actually, in your learning process, you're going to be working on a real life case study, which is very close to what you will be doing on your job as a data analyst. So you're not just learning how to use Excel, for example. Look at what you have achieved in the practical class today, or in the practical session today. Mohammed has been able to walk you through what you will do in a role as a data analyst. It's basically that's it, right? So that's how our classes are tailored. So you're actually working on real life case studies that you can use to improve your skills. So we also have the NESU products analysis. And next is the online food delivery preferences project as well. So we have other projects that you'll be working on. We have fraudulent transactions in the bank. We have the employee attrition in IBM. And you can even see some of these projects from the dashboards that I showed earlier. There's another project on data science salaries. So you're not just working on, you're not learning, say, pivot tables, for example. How can you apply pivot tables? You're not looking at bar charts or line charts or just pie chart or all of that. In what case, in what situation would you need to use a line chart? In what situation will you need to use a bar chart and all of that? Some of us, a lot of people are confused. So when I'm doing analysis, should I be using average? Should I use sum? Should I use percentage? Should I use standard deviation, or all of that? And I get all these questions. And so these are some of the things that we'll be addressing during your training. So you're not just doing things without knowing why you're doing them. You're doing them so as to be able to solve real life problems. So you don't use average in the same way you use sum. There are different things. You don't use counts the same way you use distinct counts. There are different things and they produce different results. But how do you know which to use for what? Okay. So yeah, those are some of the things that you would achieve or you would learn when you join 10Analytics data analytics training. All right, so we see the Redux Airline project for our internship, and you can also see the Legacies Group Human Resource Data case study. All right, so another project that you work on is the FIFA Football World Cup data sets, the Education for All fundraising data, the Titanic data sets. And so we're going to look at other opportunities that you are also exposed to at 10Analytics. But before I go into that, I'm just going to take some of the questions in the chat box. All right, so do you have training for data engineering? Yes, Babajide, we have training for data engineering. So I said earlier that the data engineer, the 10Analytics actually have different programs, which is the data analytics, the business analysis, the HR analytics program, the financial analytics program, the Power Platform, and then the data engineering program. So we also have the data engineering program. All right. So let's quickly, before I take from there, I want to quickly talk about the fee. All right. So the program fee is £400, or if you're paying in Naira, 320 Naira, okay? 320,000 Naira, sorry. We have the program fee originally is £400, and the equivalent of it in Naira is 320,000 Naira. All right, but we have a special discount for the first 20 participants to register. So for the first 20 people to register, we have a special discount for them. And the discounted amount is £300. And you can, which is 270 Naira. So if you're going to pay, you can also pay in 2 installments. The first one, you pay your £200, and then the second installment, which is after 1 month of being in the program, you pay £100. Then if you're paying in Naira, altogether, the discounted amount is 270,000 Naira, as opposed to the original price, which is 320,000 Naira. So your first installment is going to be 180,000, while your second installment, which is supposed to be paid a month after you're into the program, is 90,000. And then if you're paying in USD, 400 USD altogether, 300 USD for your first installment, and 100 USD for your second installment. And if you're paying in Canadian dollars, it's 500 Canadian dollars. And your first installment is 300 Canadian dollars, while your second installment is 150 Canadian dollars. All right. So yeah, here is a link that you can access to see where you will make the payment. Right. So I'm sending a link into the chat, into the comments, so you can click on that link to see where the full details about the payment and how you can make payments. So see, you can make payments using card from anywhere in the world. Okay, so you can actually make use of that link. So I sent the link to you earlier, so please make use of that. And these are the account details. It's also in the slides. And like I said, please make sure that you fill the attendance form so that you can have access to both the slides and the recording will be sent to you. All right, so if you can't pay to any of the accounts, you can also pay with Paystack. And again, all this information is on this main stack link that I sent, and I'm sending it again. Mohammed has also sent it into the comments. So please click on that link and you have access to all the information. So after making your payment, you would need to click on this link below, and you need to
Excuse
upload
me, please. Can
your.
I ask a question, please?
All right, please hold on. I'll give you time to ask your question shortly.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, thank you. All right. So yes. So basically, these are all the payments different payment sources that are available. So yeah, Israel, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. I wanted to find out, what's the certificate like? How do we get? Are we going to be certified? Stuff.
Yes, so at the end of the training, right, you're going to be given certificates. You're going to be given a soft copy of your certificate. So yes, there's going to be certification at the end of the training.
Okay. And is it recognized like worldwide?
All right, so there is no for data analytics, there is no worldwide recognized certificate, but with our certifications and our training, students have actually been able to get jobs. They have been able to get recommendations and references, and they have actually been able to even get into master's program in US, in UK, and all of that. So our training is recognized worldwide, but there's no standard data analytics certification. And as a data analyst, actually, I think your key focus should be on, am I going to do hands-on? Our experiences so far with jobs in Nigeria, in the UK, in US, in Canada is they want to see your experience, really. So emphasis is not even on the certificates. They want to know what you have done, projects that you have worked on. You can have a number of certificates, but can you do the job? All right, so that's not to say that the certificate is not relevant. The certificate is there. You're going to have your certifications, but for data analytics, there's no worldwide record. You can go out there and research about it. There's no
Yeah,
standard
I understand
data
what you're
analytics.
saying.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. All right, so yeah, before I move on, I don't know if any other person has any question. You may want to unmute your mic or.
Okay. And something else, do you guys do cybersecurity?
No, we do not offer cybersecurity. So our trainings are around business analytics, data science, power platform, HR analytics, financial analytics, data engineering. So no
Okay.
cybersecurity.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for the 270K, are we just learning all these courses you mentioned, or just the data analysis?
All right, so just the data analytics, the data engineering is more, the price of the data engineering is more, but all of these programs, sorry, excuse me, everyone. All right, so this different program, each of the program is what is 270, not all the programs. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. All right, so any other question? Any other question? All right, so since there are no other questions, I'll just all right, so we'll just move on with the, sorry, I just wanted to get to the slides where we stopped before we moved on. All right, so let's talk about our facilitators, the people that you'll be meeting. All right, so we have Adeza, is the founder of 10Analytics. He's going to also be taking some of the classes, and myself as well. I'm the data analytics lead at 10Analytics. I'm also going to be on this on the training with you as well. And you can see that I have knowledge in Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Python, MongoDB, and machine learning. So you're going to be on this journey of learning data analytics with me as well. Also, you have Oladapo Shinyobola. So Oladapo Shinyobola is in Big Four, and is versatile in risk consultants with many years of experience in internal control, risk management, internal audits, compliance, and data analytics. Is very experienced with Excel, advanced knowledge of Excel actually. You are also going to have Olugbemi, and you are also going to have Mohammed. Not sure why his details are not here, but you're also going to have Mohammed, and I've rolled out Mohammed's profile to you, to everyone, and you have seen the wonderful things that Mohammed has actually taught. Okay, so Emmanuel is asking, how flexible is the training timing? So yes, Emmanuel, I mentioned earlier that the training is on Saturdays and on Sundays. So even if you're working, you should be able to make out time. And we have live classes on Saturday for 3 hours. You can either join the Europe class, which is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, or you can join the Toronto Canadian time, which is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays in Toronto. All right, so you can either join any of these two, and live classes are for 3 hours. And then on Sunday, you also have watch me do it videos. So this method of learning is self-paced. You can do it all like at your own convenient time. So that's what you do on Sunday. Then during the week on Wednesday, at a time that is convenient for your cohort, you now have, or Wednesday or on a Tuesday, you now have drop-in sessions where you have one-on-ones, or you have access to your facilitators, and you ask your questions based on maybe tasks that you have done during the week and you do not understand anything from there. I hope that answers your question, Emmanuel. All right, so our next cohort is going to be on 22nd of September. So we're hopeful that you are going to be able to join as soon as you can. So you can enroll by making payments. Once you make payments, once you make the part payment, then you have been registered as a participant. I already talked about the price, and I talked about the discount for the first 20 participants. So you don't want to let this pass you by. All right, so please try as much as possible to make use of this opportunity before it ends. All right, so other information about payments have been sent into the chat box. So let's look at some of our testimonials and some of the things that our participants have achieved. All right, so this is Nate, and Nate got a job, a full-time job as a data analyst, and in Spain. So currently he attended the training with Analytics on the data analytics and data engineering program, and you can see Nate's testimony here, right? So this is Benga. Benga got a full-time job as a business data analyst after his training at Analytics in the data analytics program. So Benga had interview preps with Adeza, myself, and Efemina, and we're able to prep him for an interview. And in the space of 1 month, Benga got 3 offers, and he was even confused as to which one to choose. All right, so you can also be like Benga. You just need to key into this opportunity as a data professional. We also have Stephen Anointing. All right, so I do remember Anointing very well. I had an interview prep with him earlier on, and after the interview prep, he got a full-time offer with as a junior data analyst at Access Group in the UK. And you can see that Anointing went through our data analytics program, and it has paid off for him. It has really paid off for him. So yeah, other testimonials, we have Winsley, who got into Shell in the UK as a sales analyst after going through our data analytics program. We also have Emeka, who got into Western Union HQ as a digital analyst after the data analytics program at Tenalytics. We also have Olubemi, who got into a business data analytics role with Lordiport in Canada. And he also went through the data analytics program. All right, so you can see that our programs are not just tailored to you learning, but the focus is that you land your first role. In fact, this is the entire reason why Tenalytics is in existence. We want to make sure that more Africans are represented in the tech world, especially in other regions like in the UK, in the US, in Canada, and so on. This is Usman. Usman landed a full-time role at NHS in the UK, and he works there as a business intelligence officer. So Usman also attended or joined the data analytics program, and you have seen the great things that he has been able to achieve today. Here is Ubong, who got numerous interview opportunities with PwC, and he eventually landed a full-time job with Cognizant. So he was on the full stack data science program and the data analytics program as well. We also have Idris Adebisi, who landed a full-time job with Jaguar Land Rover in the UK. He became a data engineer after training with Tenalytics in the full stack data science program. All right, so you also have testimonials of other people. Look at Abdul Rashid. He's here in Nigeria, but he landed a full-time role as a data scientist with a company in the US. So yeah, it's you can see that Abdul Rashid didn't just do it by what he knew. It's a different thing to know something or to be skilled at something. It's another thing to be able to access opportunities in other parts of the world. All right, so yes, and you can see that through the LinkedIn optimization and all the other sessions that we have, even though Abdul Rashid is in Nigeria, he was able to access or get roles in other places or in other countries of the world. All right, so I'll pause here just in case anyone has any question. I'm going to go into the chat again, or if you would like to unmute your mic to ask any question, please let me know. So I'm giving you time to ask your questions. Any other question? All right, so here is Victor Oyeshino, and Victor Oyeshino works with Hugo full-time as a people operations analyst, and that's after training in the HR analytics program at Tenalytics. We also have Maureen, who landed a full-time role at TELUS International in Canada as HR data analyst. And that was after she joined our HR analytics program. We have Thelma, who also joined the HR analytics program and is currently an HR analyst in the UK. All right, so we have Rafiat also, who is a business analyst and in the UK, and she joined the business analysis program. All right, so these are some of our testimonials that we have from participants. So you can see Miriam, and I can tell you, I know Miriam personally, and she has been a great testimony of how Tenalytics can actually change a person's life. Miriam relocated to Canada, and she was able to get into a data analytics role before she even ended her program at Tenalytics. Within the first 2 months of her program at Tenalytics, she was able to get into a data analytics role. I personally handled her interview prep. And when she got the role, she was screaming in my DM and was like, Toyin, everything you told me was what they were asking. I am so excited. You know, one thing I really liked about Miriam's testimony was the fact that she was on a short break at work. And she told me that, Tony, I don't want to go back to that office where I'm coming from. And I was like, Miriam, don't worry, it will happen. And within the space of 2 months in the training, Miriam got a data analytics role in Canada. So yeah, you can see that these jobs are out there. It's just for you to have the right skills and know how to access those jobs in those jobs. So King is asking that what is full stack data analysis? Oh, there is no full stack data analysis. We only have full stack data science. And that's what our data science program is called. So there is no full stack data analysis. It's just data analytics program. We have the full stack data science, right? And that's what our data science program is called. And why is it called that? You're going to learn. So data science has to do with predictive analysis. And so you're going to learn how to do analysis, predictive analytics with computer vision, natural language processing, and you're also going to have supervised learning, unsupervised learning. All right. So because different data scientists focus on one area, but at 10 analytics, you're going to be learning all of them. And if you like, you can choose to focus on whatever you want to focus on, but you are trained to become a full stack data scientist. And that's why our data science program is called the full stack data science. All right. So I hope you got that, King. So there is no full stack data analytics. All right, so you can also see other testimonials. Like I said, if you have filled the attendance sheets, the slides will be shared with you, and you can actually go through the testimonies or the testimonials that we have. All right, so these are some of the companies that are participants working currently, and we have people working in different countries, top companies all over the world. All right. So is the HR analytics not rather narrowed? Why go for HR analytics when you can go for data analytics? Isn't data analytics more encompassing? Just curious. All right, Oluchi. The HR analytics is narrowed, and that is what makes it that is even what makes it relevant. As a HR analytics or as a HR analyst, one of the things you are able to do is you having the knowledge of human resources. And we all know that in this world of today, human resources is a big deal in different organizations. So as an HR analyst, you're going to work hand in hand with the human resource department. So as a data analyst, you won't necessarily have understanding of human resource, and it might be difficult for you to fit into the human resource department. But as a human resource analyst, you know the concept of attrition, you know different concepts in human resource and different factors that affect the human resource sector of a company. So that's where you come to play. So as a data analyst, you can't just jump into the human resource department of a company and say you want to work there because you are a data analyst. But now, and we know HR is a big deal right now in the world of today. Many companies know the importance of human resources. So you as an human resource expert is really going to be a hot cake in that sector. So that's why the human resource analyst is not the same as the data analyst at all. Of course, the data analyst can work in different areas, but you as an human resource analyst is going to have a higher leverage or higher advantage compared to them when it comes to the human resource department or things that have to do with people operations and all of that. So that's why if you're interested in human resource and you're looking at providing solutions to people in the workplace, and I think the human resource analyst is a great option for you. All right. So here is the question. Are you ready to gain premium data analytics skills with us at 10 Analytics? We are waiting for you to help you advance your career, connect you with a community of analysts, introduce you to best analytics techniques designed by the best in the business. What are you waiting for? All right. So we're here for you. What are you waiting for? All right. So yeah. I don't know if you still have any other questions. You can let me know in the comments, or you can unmute your mic and speak. Any other questions so far? All right. Any other question? Any Oluchi, you are welcome. Any other question?
Hello.
Hello, Mutiat.
Hi. Thank you to Mohammed. I have actually part paid to start in September,
Great.
but I am blank as per data analytics, and I'm kind of concerned with this class because like I'm completely lost, and I'm wondering if this is the same pace that the classes that we would have by September will take. Like I was completely lost because I'm not very proficient in the use of Excel. I know just the basics, so I was lost.
All right, so Mutiat, don't be. So first thing is, in your classes, you're going to be taking from the basic of Excel, like level 0 to advanced Excel. All right. And let me tell you how that is going to happen. The first thing is that you have Watch Me Do It videos on Sundays that you can watch at your own pace. So there is no facilitator, wait for me, I've not done anything, right? So that is it. And this session is a little bit different from what you have or what you're going to have during your training. Why? Because we have like a number of people here, and the session here is also being recorded, all right? So, and basically, we possibly can't get everyone to work at the same pace as Mohammed is working because we have limited time on this session. But I can definitely assure you that during your training at 10 Analytics, you're going to have Watch Me Do It videos that you can watch. And in the live sessions or in the live classes, is purely practical. Like when I mean practical, it is purely practical, it's hands-on. So as the facilitator is doing it, you are also doing it on your laptop, all right? So, and you have the access to speak to your facilitator one-on-one. Yeah. Then also, we also have drop-in sessions during the week where you come and ask questions. Basically, that drop-in session is for you to share your screen, ask as much questions as you can ask. And then also in your training, you have access to your facilitator in a WhatsApp group, okay? So you can ask your questions and the facilitator is going to be there to also attend to your questions. So you don't have to be afraid. You're going to get as much value for your funds as possible. All right, so Mohammed, I don't know if you want to buttress that.
Yeah, thank you for that. So I saw when I saw the question, I was laughing. Okay, so well, I want to, remind us that at the beginning of the session, I mentioned something. Just take a step back, watch me, do exactly what I was doing. Now, in your first class, you won't be jumping into creating, a dashboard. It's going to be a step-by-step process. Okay, you are going to be having problem solving, techniques. That's going to be your first live class, and you'd have a professional like myself, like walk you through, the mindset you should have, going on as a data analyst, and then you start your Microsoft Excel class. Okay, the first class in Microsoft Excel, it's the basics you do, right? What are columns? What are rows? What are cells? Okay, what are the ribbons, signifying? So those basics will be taught to you, and then you work your way up to cell referencing, named range, then you go on to lookups, and then finally a dashboard, like what we did today. So today's session was just to show you, how you can leverage, Excel. A lot of people didn't know that Excel, you could use Excel to build a dashboard that's interactive, right? So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you, Mohammed. Okay, so Ngozi is asking how much is the HR analytics training? The HR analytics training as well originally is 320,000 naira if you're speaking in naira. And if you're asking in pounds, is 300 pounds. If you're asking in USD, is 400 USD. And if you're asking in Canadian dollars, is 500 Canadian dollars. And that is the discounted price, which is in all of these currencies. So in naira, the discounted price is also 270. So yeah, Mohammed has shared with you the main stack link where you can see all these details. So please click on it and you see all those details in full, the accounts that you can pay into and so on. All right, so Ngozi, I hope we have been able to answer your question. Any other question? I don't know if we have current participants on the call or old participants. You have been in 10 analytics training before, or you are currently in 10 analytics training and you're on the call. Please signify. I can see someone, but I don't want to call her because if she doesn't want to speak, then it's fine. All right, do we have current participants or old participants on the call? Anybody? Please signify. All right. All right, please, if you are a current participant or old participants, kindly signify. I don't know if we have anyone on the call. Folake, I saw you. You are the one that I was talking about. I wanted to call you. You are not going to be any shy. Please unmute your mic and speak. Speak about how 10 analytics has impacted you so far. Folake. All right, so Folake is in the April cohort. All right.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Folake Ifechka. I actually joined this class because I'm actually working on Excel now, on a project on Excel, and it actually opened my mind to a lot of things. In fact, while the class is going on, I'm also, working on my project, and it actually helped me a lot to create my dashboard. And I just want to say, to encourage everybody, 10 analytics classes are really, really, like the last person that asked the question about not knowing anything. I personally am coming from a banking perspective, and the only thing I know is, how may I help you? That was the only thing. I swear.
Customer service, eh?
Customer service. All we know is how to smile and ask, how may I help you? But
yeah.
In the past 2-3 months, it has really opened my eyes to a lot of things. It's amazing what your brain can do if you put it to work. And they literally break everything down in the sense that if you don't even know how to type, or you don't even know, they legit teach you how to even download the tools, the platform and everything that you would need to go on this your data analytics course and everything. And it's really, really, it's great. I'd encourage everybody. I know, yes, maybe especially the way it is back in Nigeria, it might feel like, oh, the money is a lot, but I think it's money well spent, because if you get to the end of December and you look back and you try to see how you spent your money, you're definitely going to see some expenses that you made that you can't even really account for. But this is one expense that I can assure you that if you by the end of December, if you go back to start recalling everything you spent your money on, it's something that you beat your chest and say, oh yes, I really, really, invested in myself and I've learned something. And if you look at the world now, the world is really going technologically based, it's going data based and everything. So it's always good to position yourself in something that you know that you'll be relevant in 10 years to come. I'm not trying to kill the banking sector. I'm not there anymore. But really ask yourself, the way chatbots are coming out and everything, with time, customer service might probably go extinct, and everything you have to do personal banking. For example, okay, let me give an example. I live in Canada, and I don't think I've ever walked into the bank to go and ask a customer service person a question the way people were coming in to ask me in Nigeria. But if you try to put yourself, in stuff that you know that, okay, in 5 years time I'd still be relevant in the working sector, this is actually something that I can encourage you, that is good for you to participate in. And you probably ask for my account number in December when you finish. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Folake. The funny thing is,
Hello.
I think I shared my experience in our classes too, and I can really
Hello,
relate
good
to
evening.
your.
Yeah.
Hello, Olaiwola. I'll take your question shortly, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
No
So,
questions, though. Yes.
okay, all right, no problem.
I just
I'll
want
call
to
you
give my
shortly.
own side of the testimony.
Okay, yes,
So,
Olaiwola,
yeah.
I'd love to hear that. Please give me some time. Let me round up.
Honestly, 10 analytics, you are the best. I have to be frank. I'm not a smooth talker, but you are the best. So
Thank
I
you.
took easy financial analytics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, with and then things were very much cheaper then. I did my own for 60K. So by the time I wanted to do data analytics, the price has jumped. So, but for my financial analytics, I didn't regret. When I went back to work, in fact, I can see the difference. My pace of work, everything has dramatically changed. So I thank God for that, but I still want to do more. But the price now is the issue with me, honestly. So you are the best. So that's what I have to say.
All right, thank you so much, Olaiwola. So the prices are just due to economic factors, and then the packages or the things that we offer are actually now better or more, and that's why we can't possibly even continue doing it at that price. So right now we teach Microsoft Fabric, we teach ChatGPT in most of our programs. And that has increased the quality and as well as the price of the programs. Okay, so that's it. All right, so thank you so much, Olaiwola, for that testimony. And thank you so much. Folake says she's jealous. So sincerely, Folake, I don't know if you've ever heard that the program was at that price before. All right. Oh, but like I said, she wants to learn the new things. Don't worry. You have in your Google Classroom, you have access to some of the new resources. So not to worry. Yes. All right. So yes, thank you so much, Folake. In fact, your testimony, I think I shared with you guys in class, and I can really relate. I was also in the banking sector. And there was a time that the governor of CBN came around and was saying something that very soon bank tellers will be replaced with machines like that, like the ATM, that you can just put your money inside and then your payment is made. So nobody is coming and taking money from you and counting, blah, 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 and then type and passing it into all those codes that we're using to post things in the banking system. So yeah, it was at that point that I was like, babe, run, no. Run, no. And yes, I went into data science, and I think I can say that it has paid off so far. So yeah, Folake, I can really relate with your experience. Thank you so much for sharing. Emmanuel is saying that, can you share the different programs on the chat page, please? Okay, so Emmanuel, we have shared the link to that already. I shared the main stack link. Please click on this link, right, Emmanuel? Yeah, also Mohammed has shared the link as well. So please click on the link and you see the different programs and the prices, how you can make payments and all of that. All right, so I don't know if we have any other participants, current participants or old participants on the call that also wants to speak. Do we have any current participants or old participants that also wants to speak? All right, so we're going to round up shortly. Before we round up, if you have any questions, you can unmute your mic and speak or throw it into
Yes.
the chat box. Yes, please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Kingsley. I want to know where your office is at in Ontario. I want to.
All right, so we do not have a physical office in Ontario or in Canada at all. We don't have a physical office because most of our trainings are online. So we really don't have a physical office. We don't offer trainings in physical locations. Our trainings are online. Do you get that, Kingsley?
Because I enroll in I'm doing my master program, so I want to data analyst. Data analyst is part of the course outline, so I want to know because I really like a physical class because I don't want a situation where I want to know I just want to go into tech. I've not known tech. Yeah, I'm just new in tech, and I don't know how the pace is going to look like when the job. I want to know the job by giving me a task to do. That's how I learn because I'm an engineer by profession, not teaching me. I don't like you telling me, teaching me. No, you just give me a task. Like for example, give me some calculus to solve. When I solve it and I make a mistake, then you say, no, you made a mistake here. Tell me to find the y, the x, find x, all those y. Then not to teach me because after teaching me, I might not be able to know what to do. When I get the job. But when you give me a task while teaching me, it makes me to think fast and to learn fast. Osheo.
All right, Kingsley, I can relate with your style of learning. And I don't know if Folake can bear me witness that we give you tasks, the kind of assignments that we even bombard you with. You say, you'll be like, what's going on? Because we want you to be grounded. So basically, it is task-based. I don't know if Folake can speak to that. Mohammed, you can unmute your mic and speak, please.
All right, fantastic one. Now I want to add to the question that was just asked. Okay, so now you could definitely send us a message, on the email that I posted in the chat. Okay, and we could take it up from there. But talking about your learning pattern. Okay, the program is a very immersive experience, right? It's session after session. You have technical sessions as well as your soft skill sessions. You have class activities during the class as you're learning. You also have assignments, right? At the end of each class, that you work on, over the week. After your program, after your live classes also end, right? You get to do what we call your capstone project. And this is where you put your knowledge to the test. Okay. Now, you test yourself on all the tools that you've learned, okay, in solving a real world problem on your own, right? So you do that and you also get the solutions to all these projects. Okay. So even after you must have come up with your insights, you've done your analysis, you still get to see how you may have done it better. Okay. So for the person who asked for the physical location, please send us a message. We can, continue discussion from there. Okay. So send a message to the email I put in the chat now, and we can pick it up from there. So I'll just answer the next question. Somebody is asking about Microsoft Fabric. Okay. So Toyin mentioned, talked about Microsoft Fabric briefly. So Microsoft Fabric, look at it as a one-stop platform for data analysts, data scientists, data engineers, and all data professionals, within the data space. So within Microsoft Fabric, you have all the data analytics tools. You have Power BI, you have real-time analytics, you have your notebook where you can write Python codes as a data scientist. You get to do all your activities within Microsoft Fabric. So it's a very new tool, all right? And the reason we've included it in the program is because, as a data analyst or as a tech talent, okay, whether a data analyst or you're a data engineer or you're a data scientist, you need to stay up to date. And that's what we do here at Analytics. We give you, we design the program in such a way that you are always up to date. All right. So it allows you stay relevant, within the data space or the tech space, right? So you need to stay up to date. So Microsoft Fabric, ChatGPT, a lot of us would have heard of ChatGPT. Toyin spoke about it, and Toyin also spoke about how she leverages ChatGPT, all right, in her daily activities as a data analyst. All right, so I hope that answers our question. All right, so Mutia says thanks. So any other questions before we call it a day? One more question, then we'll call it a day. Okay, as a Power Platform engineer, what's your job function or role? Very good question. Now, the Power Platform engineering, program or Power Platform engineering as a whole, is a skill that a lot of people are sleeping on currently. All right. Now, the Power Platform engineer, works with a wide range of tools. Now, we have Power BI. Power BI is, do we all know Power BI? Or Victor Agua, I'll ask you that question specifically. Do you know Power BI? Have you heard of Power BI? Or any other person on the call? So you can just type in the chat. Yes, Power BI. Yeah. So Power BI is just one tool among the Power Platform tools. We have Power BI, we have Power Automate, we have Power Virtual Agents, we have Power Pages, we have SharePoint, and so on and so forth. Now, what the Power Platform engineer does is they use their skills to build applications without writing codes. You automate processes, you create automated reports, you create chatbots without writing codes. Okay, so and that's the reason why I say a lot of people are currently sleeping on it. Okay, they look at Power Platform engineering and they pass. No, right? The Power Platform engineer, has an average of about, I think about around £40,000, per annum annual salary. Okay, in the UK, if I'm correct. Right, so you could check read.co.uk and look at the average, remuneration for the Power Platform engineer. So I hope that answers your question, Victor. Victor, I'm still waiting for your response. I hope that answers your question. All right, fantastic. Right, so over to you, Toyin. Okay, another question. Somebody says, please, why is data engineer more expensive than others? Very good question. I like that observation. Now, when you look at the data engineer, okay, you see data engineers, they pride themselves in saying that, oh, the data analyst or the data scientist would not even exist if they did not exist. And to a very large extent, that is true. And why is that? Tony also mentioned about, spoke about what the data engineer does. Now, imagine you have an overhead tank, right, that holds water. and you want to run the water into your apartment, you need pipes, and you need those pipes to be properly laid in order for in order for you to have water supply, within the building. Now, the data engineer is the plumber in the data space that creates the overhead tank, stores data in the tank, and creates pipelines to supply data analysts, data engineer, data scientists, I beg your pardon, supply all the data professionals with data within an organization. So that's one of the reasons why the data engineer, is paid higher than the data analysts and the data scientists. So the program just replicates that fact as well, right? So I hope that makes sense, Malcolm.
All right, thank you so much, Mohammed. Thank you so much for helping with the questions, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We'll be rounding up at this point, and we hope to see you all in the September course training starting on September 2nd. Thank you, Folake. Thank you, Olaiwola, for your contributions. We truly appreciate that. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Bye. Thank you.